you could think of starting to eat worse food. You might have went to bed later. You might have started spending more time in the bed in the morning. You might have stopped exercising, anything like that, or stuff that you might have stopped doing or started doing during that time that you might not be that happy with now. So what we're talking about with routine, it can help us to develop good habits that are in line with our full potential. So that's stuff that we want to start doing, what we would like to do in our day. And it can also stop habits that don't serve us well. So maybe some of that stuff there that I mentioned that you might have stopped and started during COVID, for example. So then the secret to building good habits is through repetition. So we can slowly replace our bad habits with the good ones through repetition. So when we design a personal routine for ourselves, we can put in that stuff that we want to start. And that's just by doing it over and over and over again. And I know that can sound really boring, but it actually isn't just that automatic stuff you think of like exercise that you have to do over and over again. We're also talking about having that same time of relaxed time every day, or that wind down time before bed that you get yourself used to, and then you start to look forward to, and it automatically then just becomes part of your routine. So just like brushing your teeth or anything like that, having that wind down before bed is something that you might not do, but it's something that you should really get into. So that's the first way that routine can really benefit you. The second one is it reduces stress and anxiety. So having no routine often means that constant worry of, oh God, I've got so much to do, when am I going to get it all done? And trying to remember all of the things that you have to do as well can be really stressful. And it can fill our brains up with everything on that to-do list, which can be really overwhelming. And stress can make it hard to concentrate. So it means that you actually forget what to do in a day, and it means you're focus less as well. So it's harder to get things done. But having a daily routine can help us too. So just plan and slot things into our week the way that we want to. It's completely individual to us. It can help us to concentrate on one thing at a time. So if you're giving your whole focus to one thing, you're going to be able to, one, get more of it done, and two, you're also going to be able to do a better job of whatever it is that you're doing. It can also help us to feel more in control. So if you've planned out your own week and you know what's coming up, you're in control of that week and you know what you're doing. And then also it can just take that uncertainty out of your day. So that anxiety of what am I going to do today and how am I going to get it all done? You already know what you're going to do that day, when you're going to do it, and it's taken all of that uncertainty out. So that's already getting rid of some stress and anxiety for you. So instead of that, when will I get it all done, it kind of becomes, well, look, I've got everything planned out. I don't need to worry about that now. Today I'm focusing on this, and everything else I have planned for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So it's just not when will I get it all done, it's I know when I'm going to get it all done, and I'm going to do it one thing at a time. So it's far better, and it just reduces that stress and anxiety. So that's the second one. Then the third one is it frees up our time. So I know most people, when they think of routine, it's one thing after the other, and it's when is my free time. But contrary to what most people believe, routine actually provides us with more free time to do what we want. So no routine often means experiencing that constant feeling of I should always be doing something. So even when you're relaxing, I have so much to do, I shouldn't even be relaxing right now. But you don't have to plan something for every part of your day. You're in control. So what you want to do is give yourself that free time, give yourself that relaxation time, which is what I'm going to show you later. So routine can help us to prioritize and build in the important things that need to get done. So things that you really want to get done this week, other things, you can leave till next week, or leave maybe till later in your day, but you can really prioritize those important things. So you can spend less time and effort on unimportant things. So as I said there a minute ago, you can really focus your time and your energy on the things that you want to do. And then you can also allow that time for relaxation, for family time, and for socializing. And also just that time for doing absolutely nothing, that you're there and you're in the moment and you're just doing nothing. It's time for you. So that's really important as well. And I know that everyone will always have different things. So It might not be family time, or it might not be socializing. It could be exercising. It could be actually just sitting down and reading a book or anything like that. But that's why your routine is unique to you. You plan it yourself, and it's something for you. That's a part, that everything a part of it is something that you want to do. So that's that one. And then our last one is basically the whole point of this PowerPoint. It helps us to achieve personal success. So we often think of these big long-term goals. People often give up on their big long-term goals because they don't see any progress. And then that lack of self-confidence and not seeing any change is one of the main reasons people find it difficult to change their lives for the better, and to do the things that you actually want to do. So a routine helps us to break down these big long-term goals into smaller short-term ones. So for example, there's that long-term goal, right? I want to become a regular runner. Well, that's not going to happen overnight. So what you do is you break it down into short-term goals that you can fit into your week, and that you can start to achieve. So the first one would be probably, research running, and maybe buy some suitable running shoes. And just so you're in the know of kind of what to do whenever you do decide to get out there. Then the next one could be, so I want to run for 5 minutes of my walk. And then the next one could be, I want to run for 10 minutes of my walk. So you're really breaking them down and showing not this big, massive long-term goal. You want these short ones that you can see yourself achieving. So then meeting these short-term goals helps to build self-confidence and gives us a tremendous sense of achievement. And this provides us with the fuel to continue our routine and to reap the benefits associated with it. So it's also a really good way of tracking your progress. So if you look back on your week and you think, well, do you know what, this week I might not have run for my entire walk, but I ran for 5 minutes. Well, last week, I was only walking. So that is showing you that you're building up those goals to eventually get that long-term one. So that's just one example of that way. So basically, I've kind of run through all that now. So that's the benefits. Now I'm just going to show you what I was explaining earlier. So we had that cycle of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So this is just an example of if you have no routine, how this might affect your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors to have that negative cycle that I was on about. So if you wake up in the morning and you think, oh God, I have so much to do, I don't want to get out of bed, where am I going to start today? I won't get a minute to relax, I'll never get it all done, and I'm a failure. So if you're already waking up in the morning thinking all of these thoughts, it's a really negative start to your day. So you're starting off really on a negative note, and you're already stressed out in the morning before you even get up. So that's going to lead to these feelings that we were on about. So you're going to be worried already, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious for the day ahead. And before you even get out of the bed, you're going to be tired and exhausted. And if that thought of I'm a failure, you're going to be ashamed of yourself before you even give a go at anything in the day. And then when we spoke about earlier, saying that all of those thoughts going through your head of all this stuff you've got to do, that can lead to just forgetting everything, and it can lead to a lack of concentration as well. So you're not focused on the things that you want to get done. And then also that's going to lead to these behaviors. So inability to sleep. If you're stressed and anxious, you're not going to get a good night's sleep, which is just then going to lead to you feeling tired the next day as well. But then in the morning, if you're already dreading the day, it's going to take you longer to get out of bed. You're going to procrastinate throughout the day. So you're going to do things instead of the actual things that you have to do, the important things. You're probably going to be more likely to do small things that don't actually have to be done right now, or stuff that you're not going to feel achievement out of. And then you're going to spend the day overthinking. So all negative thoughts that you've already woke up in the morning thinking, those are going to continue throughout the day. And then that really important thing, you're not going to allow yourself to relax at all. If you've got all this stuff on your mind, you're not going to allow yourself to relax. So if you've had this really negative cycle of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors throughout the day, you're going to go to bed at night and your thoughts are just going to be around, I've got nothing done today, again, that I'm a failure, I have so much to do tomorrow and I'm dreading tomorrow. So before you even then, when you're going to bed that night, you're already dreading the next day. And also you've woke up and you went to bed with really negative thoughts, which is not good for anyone. And then that's going to lead to that inability to sleep again if you're already anxious for the next day. So there's a really, really vicious cycle, really negative cycle that's just going on and on the whole day. And that's kind of an example of what can happen if maybe you have no routine or you've set yourself no goals, of what can happen in a day. So now I'm just going to show you an example of the opposite of that. So this is what usually people with a routine might experience. So if you have your routine laid out, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to look at it and you're going to say, right, my goal for today is I want to get the food shop. And look, if I do that, I'll be happy. And I know I have other things to do, but I don't have to worry about them today. Because I can see that I have them planned for later on in the week, or I don't have to worry about them this week. You know, I've decided I'm going to leave them till next week. And then you can also say, I'm looking forward to my relaxation time later. So that's really important that you have something to look forward to. Not that it has to be, you know, going out with your friends or anything like that. Even just something as simple as I'm going to allow myself to relax later. That's really important. So then these positive thoughts that you're waking up on in the morning is going to lead to more positive feelings. So if you achieve your goal, that's that sense of achievement, that feeling good about yourself, and that kind of wee boost that you need. It's going to lead to satisfaction if you can tick something off on your routine sheet. It's going to leave you then feeling more relaxed, not this anxiety and stress all the time. It's going to leave you goal concentrated and focused, like we said. So you're able really to achieve your goals and you're able to concentrate on them and really focus on what you're doing. So then you've got positive thoughts, you've got positive feelings. So that's going to lead to really positive behavior. So as we said, you're going to achieve your goals. You're not going to be really stressed and anxious, which is going to allow you to get better sleep. And also if you've planned your sleep times, you know when you're getting up and you're going to sleep. That's really important as well. So then you're going to feel more organized. You're going to have a healthier routine. You're going to do healthier behaviors, do things that are better for you. And then the really important thing, you've got more time to relax and do things you enjoy because you've allowed time for that, and you're not going to feel guilty whenever you are relaxing, because you know that you've planned when you're going to do your tasks or when you're going to meet your goals. And then so this really positive cycle throughout the day, like we said, is then going to lead to more positive thoughts at night time. So I've achieved my goal, I'm happy with myself, and I can concentrate on achieving a new goal tomorrow, which you've already got planned, and you don't need to worry about what that is. So this is already a way, way, way more positive cycle compared to not having a routine. And you can really see how that might benefit someone if they're going to bed with positive thoughts and feelings and behaviors instead of negative ones. So hopefully now I've convinced you maybe of the benefits of a routine and why you should get one. So now I'm going to talk a bit about some really beneficial routine activities to have as part of your routine. So there's just 4 things as part of this, and you'll probably already know what I'm going to say, but I'll go through them really quickly anyway. So exercise is really important to have as part of your routine. So this could be an intense workout if that's what works for you. Could be a home workout, it could be in the gym. I know a lot of gyms aren't open right now, but anything like that. It could be going for that run, or could simply just be going for a walk. It's important to keep your body moving if you feel able to. And if you do this, you'll not only feel physical benefits, but also mental benefits. If you've got restricted or reduced mobility, try to organize maybe a set time every day when you even just walk to the end of your street, or if you walk around your garden. And then you can build this up if you feel comfortable to, in a way that is kind of easy for you, even if it is just walking. But also if you've got maybe a physical disability or anything like that, there's always online you could look up specific ones that are probably being adapted to your needs, which could be really good for you to get into. So the benefits of exercise so it improves mood and it decreases feelings of depression, anxiety and stress. And this is all to do with chemicals in the brain that are activated when you exercise. So it just boosts your mood really. So it improves physical health. This here has loads of different benefits. So it's good for your heart. It's really good for your digestive system. It's really good for just your breathing in general. It's good for your muscles and your bones. It's good for your skin, and it can reduce your risk of disease. So it's really important for your body as well. But of course also, it aids in weight loss. I think that's what what most people kind of associate exercise with, but it's just really healthy for your body in general. So it also increases energy. And I know most people would think, well, God, if I exercise, I'm going to be so tired after it. But actually, whenever you're exercising, there's more air pumping through your body. Your blood is pumping through your body as well, better, clearer, cleaner, which is all really good for energy. So you'll actually find that if you do exercise regularly, you'll have more energy. It's really good for your brain health, and it's also really good for concentration and memory. So this is really good for maybe older people whose brain is starting to change. It's really good for memory and concentration, which could be another reason for you to get into exercise as well. So it also helps sleep quality and relaxation. So if you're done your exercise and you've worked your muscles, and whenever you actually do go to sleep, or whenever you do relax, your body's actually going to want that muscle and bone kind of relaxation time. So it's really good for kind of getting you to sleep better, and also to get you to stay to sleep as well. And also it just reduces pain. So if you do have maybe a physical condition or anything like that, it's really good for pain. As I said, if you look up maybe specific exercises for your physical condition, it can really help with those specific areas. So that's the first one. Exercise is really important to have as part of your routine. And the other one is sleep. So without a daily routine, you might find yourself staying awake, worrying about everything that you need to do tomorrow, or everything that you didn't get done today. So for that example that I gave of the cycle, so waking up and going to sleep at the same time every day will actually help your body find its natural rhythm. So having like a wake up morning routine that gets you energized at the set time every day is really good for you. And also having a wind down routine before you plan to even get into bed, or when you're in bed to get you to go to sleep at night, is really good for your body as well. And you'll find then with that one, you'll find it easier to get to sleep, and two, you'll find it that you'll actually have a better sleep whenever you do get to sleep. So you'll have less waking up during the night and everything. So then the benefits of sleep. So it improves mood and decreases the likelihood of stress and anxiety and low mood. So that's once again just really to do with those chemicals in the brain that I was speaking about, and just how your brain resets itself really when it is asleep. So it's really good for your emotional regulation. Then it's also better for a healthier heart. So if you just think about when you're awake, your heart's working really hard. Whenever you're asleep, your heart gets that rest. So it's really good for a healthier heart as well. It also increases energy. So it rests the body, and it's good for muscle repair. So if you've been using that up during the day, it's really good then to get that bit of sleep at night. And also if you when you have a good sleep, when you wake up the next day, you'll feel more energized as well. As you know, the main thing for sleep is for energy. So then brain is good as it's really good for brain health, memory, and concentration. So it really helps you to kind of store more information, and also to kind of store more memories as well, which, as I said, it's good for that memory and concentration. So to remember things that have went on in the day, especially kind of for older or aging people, it's good. So it really helps control weight as well. So if you've had a really good night's sleep, the next day you're not going to feel as hungry. So people often kind of mix up sleep and hunger, tiredness and hunger. So the next day you won't feel as hungry if you've had that good night's sleep, because you have got that wee bit more energy. So you'll find that it might aid in weight loss for you. And then as well, it increases motivation. So if you've had that good night's sleep, you're going to wake up the next day and you're going to feel really motivated to meet them goals that we're talking about. So 7 to 8 hours sleep is best. As you get a bit older, you'll find that this might be a bit less than, but that's completely normal. If you're getting maybe 9 hours sleep or more than that, this is too much, and you might actually start to experience negative things of sleep then. if you're kind of getting that much sleep, 9 hours or more. So try to keep it around 7 or 8. But as I said, if it's a wee bit less than that, if you're at 6, as you start to maybe get older age, that's completely normal. So that there's sleep. Next is socializing. It's really important to have socializing in your daily routine as well. So for human beings, having good friendships and relationships plays an important part in looking after our well-being. So often when we're worried about all the stuff that we have to do, of having no routine and everything we've got to get done, we don't allow ourselves time to socialize, to talk to our friends and family or anyone like that. So the benefits of socializing is it improves mental and emotional health. So it decreases them feelings of stress and anxiety and low mood. It improves confidence and self-esteem. So being with people who care about us actually does help us as well. They know about us and they take an interest in your life. So it really does boost your confidence and self-esteem that people want you about. And then that increased quality of life. So it gives you that sense of purpose, that sense of belonging, of being part of someone, of being important to someone. So it's really good for that as well. And also increases brain health. So just that that act of talking to people and using your brain and maybe educating someone else on something you know and taking in some information, new information that you've learned from them is also really good for brain health. And actually, loneliness is linked with functional decline. So really socializing is really good for your brain and keeping it active. So then scheduling a regular catch up with someone can give you both something to look forward to and helps add structure to your day. Also, it's really good if you find that there's some part of your week when you're really lonely. It's good to maybe in your routine schedule that time to be a time that you phone someone or meet up with someone. So if you find on a Sunday maybe you feel really lonely, it's really good maybe then to schedule maybe a couple of phone calls for that day, or to go out and have lunch with someone, or to go over for someone's house for Sunday lunch, or anything like that would be really good. Also, if you find the mornings really hard, it would also be really good maybe to wake up in the morning and have a phone call with even a family member or something, just to get your day started. That's a really good way to start your day off in a positive mood. So that's socializing. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about that you should have part as your routine is that goal setting that I've been on about over and over. So often people might not think about what they want to achieve or have achieved so far in life. And this might give their day no purpose or meaning and stops people from feeling like they're achieving their full potential. So if you think that you want to do something and you're not striving towards it, you're just not going to feel very happy with yourself if you're not even just doing that for yourself. It doesn't have to be for someone else. But that's what we're talking about, your full potential or feeling successful. So setting goals actually triggers new behaviours that you're proud of and you enjoy doing every day. So that's what we're on about. They're individual to you and there's something that you're proud of and something that you're happy to do. So the benefits of goal setting is it motivates you. So it gives you something to get up for in the morning. It gives you something to do during the day. It gives you that clear focus, so you're able to concentrate on one thing at a time, as I've said. It's easier to make decisions. So if you know there's a goal you're working towards, you can decide exactly what you want to do and when, and if it's going to benefit your goal or if it's not. It gives you control. You know what you're doing, when you're doing it. You know how long until you achieve that goal. What steps to take to get there. So as we said, then smaller short-term goals is really good. And it gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of achievement. So if you can see that you're meeting all them short-term goals, you're on your way to your larger long-term goal. So it gives you that sense of purpose and achievement. So as I said, choose your long-term goal, break it down into short-term goals, and achieving those will help you appreciate your capabilities and will help you reach your full potential. So that thing of, we're saying that personal success, that's what you want to achieve. So those are the 4 things that are really important to have as part of your routine. So I've went over now sort of why you should have your routine, why it's a really good idea, how all the benefits associated with it. And I've went through the 4 things that you should have as part of it. So you're exercising, sleep, socializing, and goal setting. So now that I've went through that, I'm going to show you maybe building a routine that works for you. So this is really 4 steps that you can take, 4 really easy steps to build that routine that works for you. And I'm going to show you an example as well. So the 4 steps are, you're going to first make a list of all the things that you want and need to do. So this doesn't have to be long. It can be really short. It can be long. But that's just making a list. The next one is to plan out your week and to set yourself a routine. Then what you're going to do is test out your routine. You're going to give it a go. And then your 4th one is you're going to review your routine. So I'm going to go through each of these, really break them down for you so that you know exactly what the 4 steps are. So the first one is making a list of all the things that you need or want to do. So just simply, you're going to start out by writing out a list of the daily tasks that you want to do this week. And these can be things that you've stopped doing or things that you now have more time to do. So to help you think of some of the things, we actually separate them into 3 categories. So the first one is routine, the next one is pleasurable, and the last one is necessary. So some of the routine activities are, these are regular types of activities that we do every day or just even often in our week. These are important life routines that make people really comfortable in their surroundings. So for example, waking up or going to bed at the same time, just general hygiene, so like showering, or even stuff like doing your makeup or doing your hair, stuff that you enjoy doing for your appearance or anything. Then it can be doing stuff like doing the washing. And then you might have one that's like cleaning out the attic. So for example, that could be something that's a big long-term goal, and you can separate that down. And I'll show you that whenever I show you the example of the routine. So those are just a list of 4 things there, 4 examples. Then you have pleasurable activities. So these are types of activities which we get enjoyment from, which we've stopped doing or doing too much of, maybe during COVID, and therefore no longer enjoy them as much. So for example, things like watching TV or movies, just hobbies in general. So it could be anything, could be reading a book, it could be doing a jigsaw, anything like that. Then there's exercise, and then there's socializing. So those are some sort of pleasurable activities that you might make a list of. Then you have some necessary activities. So these are types of activities that are often time limited. So if you've not carried out, these might lead to kind of consequences for yourselves. So a lot of these might surround money or health, which people might not want to think about at this time, but putting these off will just increase your worry. So for example, paying bills or going for a food shop or phoning the doctor. So all stuff that you have to do that you might actually procrastinate and put off because you're worried about doing them, or because you've kind of got to deal with something, or because you don't want to spend money. So that's sort of an example of necessary activities. So next, I'm just going to provide, this is an example list that someone might make out. So they've got their routine activities, so this is all stuff that they want or need to do in the week. So this is their routine activities. They want to wash their car, they want to do their washing, so their laundry, they want to clean out the spare bedroom, they want to cook dinner, and they want to wake up and go to bed on time. So that could be the same time every day. Then they've got their pleasurable activities. So they want to go walking, they want to phone their sister, they want to read a book, and they want to watch TV. And there might also be stuff in there like they want to go to the cinema or anything like that. So then they've got their necessary activities. So they want to phone about the electricity bill, and they need to go to the bank, and they want to phone their doctor, and they need to go for a food shop as well this week. So there's actually a lot going on here, and these are a lot of different activities, especially if you're going from maybe doing not a lot in your week. This is a lot that you want to get done. So my main tips would be, just before you plan your week, it's really important to remember it's okay not to do everything on your list. So decide which of these activities is a priority that you want to start this week, and then what can be left until next week or even the week after that, or that's really not that important to you this week. So for example, this here person's actually added 2 to their pleasurable activities, which you might find you'll do as you go on through the week. So to start yoga and to go to the cinema, like I said, they've actually added them, which is absolutely fine if you find you're adding to your week. But what this person has done is they've highlighted the things that they want to do this week. So they've said that this week they want to do their washing, they want to cook their dinner, obviously is something they want to do every day. They want to try to wake up and go to bed on time. So that's the routine activities they want to do. They want to go walking, they want to phone their sister, and they want to watch TV. That's really important to them to do this week. And then the necessary activities are they want to phone the doctor and they want to go for a food shop. So they've basically said the bank and phoning about the electricity bill, and although they're time limited, it's not this week that they're time limited, so they can actually wait until next week or the week after that, whenever they slot them in or decide they want to put them in. So then other tips before you go on to step 2 out of making your timetable, the other tips would be to, as I said, try to have that evening wind down time, put away your phone or do some self-care activities. So for example, have a bath or just pamper yourself or anything like that there. Find the time of the day. So if you're planning on doing these important activities, find the time of day that you're the most productive, whether that's the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. Find that time of the day and try to fit your main task of the day into that time. So space out your week, give yourself time to have a break in between activities. You don't want to see activity after activity planned for yourself. That's just going to give you stress and anxiety. Go to bed every night looking at what goals you achieved that day, and also start every morning by looking at that goal that you want to achieve that day. So like I showed you in that cycle, you want that really positive start to the day and that really positive end to the day by looking at what you're going to achieve and what you have achieved. So that's really important before you plan out your week. So now I'm just going to give you an example of planning out your week and setting yourself a routine. So this here is just going to be 2 examples of planning out your week and setting yourself a routine. So for example, this here person has actually planned out the routine, and this here might be someone who's just started planning their routine. So what they've done is they've left themselves loads and loads of space. They haven't planned everything in after the other, and they've left themselves the weekend free. So if that's what you want to do when you start planning out your routine, that there is absolutely fine. So what they've done, this is really goal-centered, this routine. So they've decided that these are the most important things they want to get done this week. And also, because they're only starting to plan out their routine, they want to find the time of the day that they're most productive. So they've spaced it out, and they're going to see, right, well, maybe actually doing the laundry in the afternoon wasn't a good idea because I was really tired. So I'm going to maybe put that more in the morning. So it's your first week planning your routine, it's really good to space stuff out and see what works for you. So they've set themselves a small goal each day that they're going to wake up and decide that's what I'm doing that day, and they're going to achieve that goal and see that they've achieved it. But also they've tried to set themselves that repetition by cooking their meal every day from 5 to 6. So they get used to that. That becomes routine. That becomes it for them. And that's a really good idea as well. So then you also have, they've set themselves that wake up time, and they've set themselves a bedtime. So I know I said about 9 hours, but the reason why this person has got 9 hours down is because most people, when they get into the bed at night, it takes them a bit of time before they get to sleep. So I know for myself, I could go to bed at 11 and I definitely will not be asleep until 12. So it's about then getting into bed, getting yourself ready for bed, and then just settling yourself down before you actually go to sleep. So it's a really good idea to have maybe that 9 hour to plan to have your 8 hours of sleep. So that's really important as well. So this is an example of someone who's just started planning out their routine, and that's a really healthy routine there. But then also we have here, so this here might be someone who's planning their routine for quite some time. And this is a person who's really built up their routine. But it's also, if you've started, things have started to become a repetition. So this cook a meal from 5 to 6, for this person probably doesn't even have to think about cooking their meal anymore. Once it hits 5 o'clock, they know that's when they cook their meal. So although this routine looks really busy, that's a really big space there for them, because they know that that's just like brushing their teeth in the morning. It's something they have to do. And also with this routine, there's actually about as many squares blank as there is full. So it may look really busy, but they've actually left themselves loads of time to do nothing as well, or time for unplanned things or stuff they want to, that just pops up in the week. They've left themselves loads of time for that as well. So this here's a really good example of where they've put in their exercising, socializing, goal setting, and their sleep. So they've got their 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. wake up and bedtime, just like their previous one. But then they've also put in, so they're in the white square, so they spend 30 minutes cleaning out the spare bedroom. They've got that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So they've broke down that long-term goal of, I want to clean out the spare bedroom, and they've really broke it down into 3 separate things that they will eventually achieve, and that's more manageable for them. So it's a really good idea to break that down. And they've basically said, I'm going to spend that 30 minutes, and if then it leaks into the next week, I will do the same again. And that's a way better way to get your goals achieved, because they don't have this one big massive chunk of clean out the spare bedroom. That's not what they've done. They've really broke it down. So then in the orange there, as I said, the cook the meal, that there is your routine activities. So that's the cook the meal and the do the laundry. That's them. I know these colours are kind of similar, but then the ones below that, so kind of at the end of their days, they've got more socializing, and they've got their relaxation stuff. So phone my sister, phone my friend, and then they've got have a bath, and they've got have their sister over, and they've got doing their jigsaw puzzle. So even though this routine looks really busy, a lot of that stuff is actually enjoying times talking to friends. It's, you know, going for a walk, really simple walk just outside for 20 minutes, and it's doing a jigsaw puzzle. So that's really important as well. They've left their Saturday and Sunday where, although they've got stuff planned, none of it is actual routine activities or stressful stuff. It's all really relaxing stuff for their weekend. And then if you look as well, they've really got their main stuff. So their walk and their spend 30 minutes cleaning, they've got all of that earlier in the day. So morning, afternoon. So this person has obviously found that they're really productive in the morning and in the afternoon. So that's when they have planned their activities. That's when they have planned to do the bulk of their stuff. Some people find they're more productive at night and before they try to wind down. If that's what you find, then plan your stuff in the evening. But this is just a really good example of someone who has found their rhythm and who has found really what they want to do in their week. So that's just an example of that, but they still have plenty of free time. All of those completely free boxes, that's a load of free time as well. So then step 3 is testing out your routine. So really all it is give your planned routine a go and complete the activities that you have. The most important thing I'm going to say is make sure you follow the plan and not the mood. So do the activities that you've scheduled, even if you don't feel like doing them. So cross out the activities that as you complete them, and even write in extra activities that you completed that you didn't initially have on the planner. So if you didn't have planned to meet your friend and you went out and met them, put that down. So when you at the end of the day, when you look at it, you think, God, I've done so much today, and you'll really see everything that you're achieving. So for example, if you wake up and you're in a low mood and you don't follow your routine, that is going to lead to you feeling down about yourself. It's going to lead you to feeling worse. So that starts that cycle off that we were on about earlier. But if you wake up feeling down and you do your scheduled activity, you're going to feel really good about yourself. Even though I felt down, I done my activity, sense of achievement, feeling happy, gives you that boost. So there's that positive cycle starting out again. So all I'm saying is make sure to follow the plan and not the mood. And then lastly, the last step is just to review your routine. So you've got your timetable of everything you've completed, and you're just going to ask yourself the following questions. What impact did increased activity have on your mood, or increased sleep, or increased socializing? How did that make me feel? And then, were there any activities that were more helpful in making you feel better? So like exercising, more sleep, or socializing? What will you include in next week's activity schedule? So you might want to add more difficult things. You might want to include things in your weekend if you left your weekend free, or you might want to just increase some of the existing ones. So like I said, instead of running for 5 minutes, you might want to run for 10 minutes. So that's another really good example of that. And then lastly, how do you feel looking back on this sheet and seeing everything that you achieved? Do you get that sense of achievement? Do you get that, that feeling of success, that purpose? And that's really what you look at as well. And then lastly, the thing I'm going to say is what works for someone else might not work for you. The whole point of a routine is that it's completely focused on you. That is it. It is individual to you, and it's full of stuff that are important to you and that you want to get done. So that's really important as well. Don't be afraid to try new hobbies or anything if that's what you want to do. Find what works for you. So then, just in summary of everything, creating that personal routine doesn't have to be boring and has incredible mental and physical benefits. So it instills good habits and breaks bad ones, like we said. It reduces stress and anxiety. It frees up your time, and it helps us to achieve personal success. It's really important to include exercise, sleep, socializing, and goals in your routine. It's really good to break down them long-term goals into short-term goals so you'll see success in every week. And as I said, stick with your routine. The secret to building good habits is repetition. Remember just that 21 days to build or break a habit, and you'll be far more likely to continue doing it or to include it in your day. And my most important one is follow the plan, not the mood. So if you've planned yourself a routine, stick with it, give it a go, and just try it for yourself.